Hey everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. I hope this is finding you and yours doing well. My name is Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode. So today's episode is pre-recorded. I've been doing a bit of traveling, and I figured why not teach a song that talks about traveling and missing home. So we're going to be learning Dublin Blues by Guy Clark. Such a fun song, and some very interesting stuff that we're going to be doing with our guitar today. So two things we want to keep in mind. As far as the tuning is concerned for this song, it is almost standard tuning, okay? So the tuning for this song is going to be E, A, D, G, B, and the high E string, tune it down to D. So again, E, A, D, G, B, D. From there, we're going to get a capo. We're going to place it on the second fret, but we are going to leave the low E string open, meaning the capo is placed on the bottom 5 strings. Leave the low string open. So the tuning, once we tune it and place the capo as we need to, okay, should sound like this. Okay, so those two things, E, A, D, G, B. D is the tuning, capo on the bottom 5 strings, leave the low E string open. It's going to act as a drone. You'll see what I mean when we get into the song. So, as always, you guys enjoy the lessons. Please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear I use in these lessons, including the RS Spectrum DI, be sure to click the link in the video description below. And while you're there, check out my Patreon page. I just started one. Would love to have you as part of the Patreon squad. So, before we get started, you know I like to ask a question, so let me know where you're tuning in from and your favorite city that you've traveled to that you just absolutely love. So favorite city you've ever seen and where you're tuning in from. So here we go. Here is Dublin Blues by Guy Clark. So that's the song. It is quite beautiful, quite beautiful. Lots of beautiful, subtle technique with this song today. So we're going to be breaking this down into 4 parts, the intro, the verses, and the chorus, and there's a beautiful, cool, bluesy lick that we see in between verse 3, and it's really cool. So we're going to be going over those 4 parts today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and play the intro just a little bit slower than I did at the top, and we'll break it up into 4 different sections. So here's that intro again, just a little slower. So let's talk about it. So what we're going to do here for this first part, we're going to play an open A string, no hands. Okay? From there, we're going to play like this D sus2 shape. Okay? So we're going to get our first finger on the 2nd fret of the G string in accordance to the capo. Okay? Because our capo's at the 2nd fret. We're going to get our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the B string in accordance to the capo. Okay, and we're just going to strum the D string, G string, and B string here. Okay, we're just going to strum all those together. From there, place the first finger on the second fret of the A string, and then the open D string. So putting all of that together very slowly, first part sounds like this. Again. Now, that's part one. So for part two, notice how my third finger is still on the third fret of the B string. This is done on purpose. It sounds like there's a little bit of a partial G chord, okay, on the album recording of the song. So it's just a downstroke on the D string, G string, and third fret of that B string. To my ear, that's what it sounds like. Okay, just a very simple open G chord. From there, we're going to go to that open A string again, and then we hammer on with our first finger on the second fret of that A string. Okay, so we've got now, seems like there's a little bit of some open G string and D string here. Nice little light brush of an upstroke. From there, we hit that droning low E, okay? And from there, we go back to that D chord and go ahead and strum all of the strings except that high E string. So that's part two. So let's combine part one and part two together. Like that. Let's do that again. And again. Just like that. Okay, so that's part one and part two. So for the second half of this intro, we're just going to do a nice little line here. This is going to be part three. So what's happening there? Open D string, hit it 3 times. Get that first finger, second fret of the D string. From there, move that first finger up. We're going to slide, okay, it's going to be a half step slide from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret of that D string. So just like that. From there, we strike the 4th fret again to the 2nd fret, to the open D string. So, without the commentary, that whole section sounds like this. One more time. Okay, so not too bad. So let's go ahead and now do part 1, 2, and 3. And again, if you guys are enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Absolutely helps the cause. And click that like button. It really does help the algorithm. So here we go, nice and slowly. First 3 parts of the intro. Part 3. Just like that. Let's do it one more time, a little faster. Okay, here we go. Okay, remember, sliding, that half step slide. Okay. From the 3rd fret to the 4th fret. Super important there. So let's do that again, one more time. From the top. part 4 sounds like this. So all that is, okay, open A string, second finger, 3rd fret of that E string. Okay, now for us, I guess kind of in accordance to the capo-ish. Okay, we'll call this the 3rd fret. No, in actuality, it is the 5th. Open A string, hammer onto the 2nd fret, and then play it open again, and then drone that low E string. And then go back to that full D chord. Okay, now this time including the high E. Beautiful drones all around from the low end all the way to the high end. So that sounds like this, the final part of the intro. Again. One more time. Let's do the whole intro. Here we go. Again, you could do some nice little strumming if you want, or just let it drone out, okay? So that's our intro. Let's do that one more time and then we'll get into the verse. So here we go. Okay, so there it is. That's the intro. Now the verses, okay, we're gonna be dealing with 3 chords here, D, G, and A. That's it. Now, we're gonna do here, when we start the song, kind of lets these chords drone, okay? We're strumming one, we're letting it ring. We're strumming another, we're letting it ring, okay? So for the verses, it sounds like this. So that sequence is going to repeat twice. Let me show you how to play that. So first, we have that D chord here. So we're going to be strumming the open D string, G string, and B string. That's it for now. Now, we can let this ring. Or if you want to strum on the 1 and 3, you can do that too. Because we're going to see some guitar layers the further along we go in this song. All right? So when I'm playing this, I kind of like to just do just the whole note strum, let it ring, and then switch to the chorus. I think it's kind of fun. And then we build up as we go through the song. So we go from D now to G. We're going to use this 3rd finger here as a pivot point, all right? And we're going to get the 1st finger, placing that on the 2nd fret of the A string in accordance to the capo, and then our 2nd finger on the, I guess, 3rd fret in accordance to the capo. Okay, so hitting that A note there. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to strum from the E string all the way to the B string, or even the G string, kind of depends. Okay, so kind of up to you. From there, we're going to lift that 1st finger up to expose that open A string, then hammer that 1st finger back down. Hitting the low E string, then into that D chord. So we've got D to G, hammer on riff, D chord. Let's do that again without the commentary. Okay, so from there, we're going to go from D to A, D to G, back to D. All right, that sounds like this. Now Now we're incorporating here just a down strum here, so down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down. Okay? And for that A chord, when I was watching Guy play this live, at least in the verses, okay, he's using one finger to play this chord. So you're going to go ahead and strum the open A string, second fret in accordance to the capo, the D string, and the G string. Don't worry, we're going to utilize that open E string in a moment. That's how I noticed he played it, like in the Austin City Limits. I saw that he played the A chord that way. So again, let's go through those verses. Here we go, from the top, D to G, little riff, back to D. D to A, back to D to G, back to D. Let's do that again without the commentary. Here we go, verses. Now the down, up, down strumming. So that gets repeated twice. So what I'll do here is I will play the intro into the verse, okay, at its full length. So here we go. Now here comes the verses. Again, nice and light strumming, like you're playing with a feather instead of a pick. Strumming gets a little bigger. Now, second half of the verse. So from there, once we get into that chorus, now we can incorporate that open A string, or open E string rather. Brings about a very nice lift. Here's what I mean. I'll play it here. So what's happening there is I'm playing A and D 3 times, incorporating that open E string, okay, to create that beautiful drone. Now, as far as the strumming goes, what I'm using, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. That's what I'm using for that entire chorus. Okay, so A to D 3 times. Now, we're gonna play the D chord without our second finger on the second fret of the E string. We want that drone. So with all of these chords in the chorus, include that open E string on the bottom. It's really, really beautiful. So again, A to D 3 times. From there we go to A to G, and then with 2 measures of D. So let's go ahead and play that together. Here we go, chorus. Last time. Cool stuff, isn't it? So that's the chorus. Very simple, very beautiful here. Now, if you really wanted to build it up and maybe say the first chorus, you don't want to strum as much, that's fine. Let them ring. They're beautiful chords on their own. So again, just giving you options. And you'll see the original recording, how it really builds. It's quite nice. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go through the intro, verses, and chorus. And then after that, I'll go ahead and show you that really cool bluesy lick. And that is a wrap for today. Again, if you're enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that like button on YouTube. It really does help the cause. And if you want to check out all the cool fisherman gear that I use in these lessons, including the RS Spectrum DI, you can go ahead and click the link in the video description below. And please be sure to check out my Patreon page. Lots of good stuff there. So here we go from the top. Intro, verses to chorus. Okay, and I'll call out each part. So here we go. Intro. Here comes the verses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bigger strumming. And if you want to add a little riff, you could do that too. Next part of the verse. Into our chorus, A major. So from there, we go into another verse and another chorus, okay? And after that second chorus, we go back to our intro, okay? After that intro, okay, that happens 2 times, we go into verse 3. So, all right, all those chords, same. Now, after that first part of verse 3, there's this really beautiful, really cool blues lick. So it sounds like this. There it is slow if I play it fast. And there's lots of open strings, so it sounds like, oh my gosh, maybe for some of you that may be too hard for me. Trust me, I think you can play this, so let me show you. So what we've got here is the open A string, and we're gonna hammer on with our first finger on the 3rd fret of that A string. So just like that, not too bad. You can use your 2nd or your 1st, totally up to you. Now, alternate picking here is very important, okay? That up, top of the string, bottom of the string type picking is gonna allow this to sound nice and smooth. So I want you to give me an upstroke on that open D string. So just like that. From there, we're going to go back with our 2nd or 1st finger, probably 2nd if it were me, and then I'm going to pull off from that 3rd fret of the A string to that open A string. And again, the pull off will work with the 2nd or 1st finger, totally up to you, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. So let's do that so far. From there, the open E string, the one that doesn't have a capo on it. Play it open. From there, you're going to go ahead and use your 1st finger to touch the, in this case, either 3rd fret or 1st fret chords of the capo, whatever makes you feel more comfortable, okay? Helps you visualize that better, okay? So I guess we'll call it 3rd fret. Play that fret. play the string open. Now, I like to pull it off. Okay, kind of pulling downwards just ever so slightly, and then releasing, okay? From there, after we do that, you're gonna strike the open D string, and that's gonna be your octave of E, okay? So here we go, nice and slowly. Again, we're gonna do this a couple times here. I think this is worth repeating. It's a really fun riff, or lick. And notice when I pull, I do that pull off on the low E string. Notice how I'm not going. I don't need to hit that, I don't need to strike the string again. The inertia that you're getting from that pull off is enough to get a nice clear pitch. Okay, so let's do that again. Do that again. It's fun to play fast, but we can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. Something I say all the time here on the riff rundown. Let's do that again. Slow it down. There we go. D string. Let's do that again. It is. So that riff happens, or that lick rather, that guitar lick happens after verse 3. So just to give you context, I'm going to go ahead and play a verse, and then I'll play the lick, and then I'll go back into playing the final part of the verse. So here we go. And feel free to play along. This is a lot of fun. So here we go. Doesn't it tie in nicely? I'll do that again. Here comes that lick. So great. It's so fun to play too. So this is the second half of that verse. And now we're going to go into a chorus. Nice and big, open E string. Good stuff. So from that final chorus, we go into half a verse, and that is the end of the song. Such a cool tune. Again, it is all about being very delicate with those strums. Even, I would suggest, if those of you think maybe you're heavy-handed strummers, maybe try using a lighter pick on this song. Again, think about you're playing with a feather, okay? You want to be nice and light, yet you want the sustain, not only of those droning E's that we have here, but of the chords themselves. So really keep in mind, you really want to paint a beautiful picture. We want to get all the good technique down, but we want to paint a beautiful picture too. And Greg Clark does that in such a beautiful way in this song. Again, Dublin Blues, one of my favorite tunes, just so fun. It is beautifully simplistic and just so stunning. As always, guys, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. As always, hope you guys have fun with these lessons. I sure have a blast. I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these week after week. And again, most certainly, I want to thank all of you. Thanks for being so awesome and so cool. Have fun with this tune.